Well, we just talked about it like a week ago, and I would totally expect this to happen. Everybody knows by now, and if you don't know, now you will. And that is according to Adam Schefter, the Eagles are releasing six-time Pro Bowl cornerback Darius Slay per source. If he is designated a post-June 1st release, the Eagles will save $4.3 million against the cap. Now, why am I making a video about this? I think you already know. Darius Slay was on the St. Brothers podcast about 2 weeks ago, and he mentioned that if not for Philly, then he would like to play for Detroit. We already know that this is his last year that he will be in the NFL. He's going to retire after the 2025 season. I did not expect him to be cut. I don't really keep up with the Eagles like that. It was something kind of wonky about his delivery when he was asked by St. Brown, and he said, well, you know how it is. You know, it's kind of like he saw something coming, but I completely expect Darius Slay to be a Detroit Lion. If you guys remember, he got into it with Matt Patricia. Him and Matt Patricia did not get along. He was the first piece of the puzzle, I believe he was, that was shipped away. It was Quandre Diggs, Darius Slay, and Golden Tate all traded away under the Matt Patricia regime. The funny part is he was here for 2.5 years, Matt Patricia, but he got rid of 3 players. Then he trades for Everson Griffin in what wound up being Everson Griffin's second to last season in the NFL. Now, I totally expect this to be a situation that he returns to Detroit. You've got the nostalgia factor. You have the fact that we do not have a cornerback with Carlton Davis being a free agent. You also have the situation that Brad Holmes, he likes him old, he likes him cheap. Now, from what I understand, as we take a look at Darius Slay, what he was making in Philadelphia, from what I understand, he is still owed by the Philadelphia Eagles for this particular season coming up. It says in 2025, Slay will earn a base salary of $1.2 million and a signing bonus of $14.5 million while carrying a bonus of $150,000 and a cap hit of $13.7 million and a dead cap of $22 million. But we just went over that if he is designated a post-June 1st release, he will save the Eagles $4.3 million. Now let's look at his stats real quick. Again, drafted by Detroit he was drafted under the Jim Schwartz regime, and then went into the Jim Caldwell regime. So he's been in the league, 34. He just turned 34 2 months ago. So he's going to retire. By the time the season is over, this time next year, Darius Slay will be retired. Second round pick number 36. Last year, we went over it. It's hard to believe he had no interceptions. I like to call him one play Slay, but I think he had one in the Super Bowl, but not in the regular season. As you can see, has spent the last 5 years with the Philadelphia Eagles. Man, that's a long list right there after spending the first 7 in Detroit. Yeah, spent the first 7 in Detroit. So I'm assuming he was traded during the offseason of 2019. So, yeah. It looks like he was traded during the offseason of 2019. I thought it was in-season, but maybe Golden Tate and Quandre Diggs were in-season trades. I remember we traded Darius Slay for a 5th and it was a 3rd and a 5th back in 2019. So as you can see, played under his time with Philly, had only one 17-game season, but we all know who Darius Slay is with him spending the first 7 years here in Detroit. Now, everybody knows. Okay, so I wasn't making YouTube videos when Darius Slay was drafted. I actually started the year before he got traded. Yeah, I started in 2019. So I want to say Golden Tate was traded. Matt Patricia took over in January 2018. I want to say Golden Tate was traded in 2018. Then you had, I want to say it might have been Tate, Slay, Diggs. It might have been in that order. Somebody put it in the comment section what the order was when it comes to how they traded. It might have been Tate, Slay, Diggs, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But I wasn't making YouTube videos back then when he was drafted, of course, and kind of start making them at the end of his career. Darius Slay, in my opinion, I loved his bravado. I loved his swag, but I don't think he was as good as he thought he was. And if you look, to me, just my opinion, based off what I see, he is a recipient of a defensive line. And you had the best defensive line in football with the Philadelphia Eagles. You still didn't get an interception during the regular season, but they have basically his defensive line has made his career. And if the Lions are not going to bolster that defensive line, and it looks like they are probably going to do that based off the reports that's coming out and who they interviewed at the combine, that they are going to finally prioritize properly that defensive line. If they don't do that, Darius Slay will be a liability. But then you have to look at it this way. Are we going to draft another cornerback somewhere in the NFL draft? Are we going to trade for a cornerback? Are we going to sign a free agent quarterback? We had basically one fall into our lap. He's going to be cheap. We already know it's a 1-year deal. I'm telling you, this thing got Brad Holmes. Brad Holmes is probably in Allen Park doing backflips right now. He probably is running laps around the practice facility because Darius Slay fits the mold of Brad Holmes. He's 34 years old. You know he's going to retire, so that's a 1-year deal. He's going to be cheap. I mean, that's a trifecta, a Brad Holmes trifecta. Would not be mad at this because, A, we need a second cornerback. We don't know what Ennis is going to be. Essentially, he's going to still be a rookie. And B, he is going to be cheap. So maybe we can defer funds somewhere else. Doesn't mean Brad Holmes can't take a cornerback in the later rounds. But I'm going to tell you what, I'm kind of over this whole cornerback thing. I really am. You have done Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, Ife Melifonwu, Ennis Rakestraw, Terrion Arnold. You signed Cam Sutton in free agency. You traded for Carlton Davis. The list goes on and on and on. You know what you've done on that defensive line? We can talk about it all day. So if we're going to, I would not be mad if we sign Darius Slay. I'm not going to be happy, but I'm not going to be like, yeah, but if we sign Darius Slay, I'm not going to be mad. Because to me, it doesn't matter who we have. We can have Darrell Revis. We can have Champ Bailey. We can have Jalen Ramsey. It doesn't matter who we have if we don't have a fortified D-line. And if we do have a fortified D-line, then Darius Slay, even at 34, will be, he's not going to be what he was, right? But he'll be better than he would be without a D-line. If we have a D-line who can get to the quarterback and disrupt the quarterback, it doesn't matter who's in the secondary. And then on top of that, you've got two of the best safeties in the league at Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch can help him out over the top. So do not be surprised if we're breaking some news that Darius Slay is coming back to the Detroit Lions because he already said he wants to. And Brad Holmes, this is a Brad Holmes type move. Put it in the comment section. You know I'm not lying. See, y'all get mad at me because I just speak the facts. I'm not the one who does this stuff. This got Brad Holmes written all over it. If you think about it, it's like the perfect pairing. An old cornerback, one that you might consider washed. He's coming off a Super Bowl championship. He has 1 year left, so he's going to be no commitment, very cheap, Brad Holmes type of dude. Let me know if I'm lying in the comment section. Let me know if I'm lying in the comment section. And also let me know how you feel with Darius Slay being released. Do you want him to return to Detroit? And do you think Brad Holmes is going to bring him back to Detroit? This channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. It's because of your support I get to do what I do. You could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. Members, you should see an update. As a matter of fact, I'm sorry, I did not update it. I took the weekend off. On the 1st of the month is when I update the member list on the screen. But I promise my next video directly after this one, if you have joined the director tier membership, you will see your name. All right. Also, we're going to probably sometime this month start a monthly Zoom call where we'll kick it on Zoom for an hour or whatever and do some off YouTube stuff. All right. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. Darius Slay, you ready to be a Detroit Lion? Because I'm pretty sure you will be.